Hello, welcome back to Suzie's channel.
Oh my gosh.
we were
Hi.
yeah. In the previous videos, we talked about like her travel in details, like where were you've
Yeah,
been, and yeah,
places,
the places,
foods,
yeah,
culture
culture,
in Turkey. And now I kind of wanted to talk about a cultural difference that's pretty huge
yeah, it is.
and good to know,
Good to know.
especially as a
Of
solo
course,
female traveler.
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Not even like a safety thing, but just like a mind trip type of
Yes,
thing. That oh my gosh, okay, this yeah, people are like that. Yeah.
yeah.
So where to begin? Um, First of all, I had mentioned that I have had a couple Turkish boyfriends.
So
The
how and like let's back to that.
okay,
Like what is it coming from? Like you were living in US
yeah,
and
the
like
first Turkish boyfriend I had was in New York, and he had a green card, spoke
oh,
English, so seemed pretty safe. He was pretty religious.
how many years ago it was?
Oh, that was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time ago. Long forgotten. But yeah, so from that experience, there was enough of like, oh, really? Okay. Since he was religious, like I couldn't drink. And like to tell someone you
What?
can't do that is really bizarre for
Crazy.
us. Yeah. So he would get like mad if I was out with my friends and found out that I had a drink.
How
So,
long was that relationship?
ooh, that was about maybe yeah, about a year.
You
in
didn't drink for one
in
year?
person it was like 6 months, and then we, like it just still didn't end.
Was that a good experience for you?
I would have to say no.
So why did you
Yeah,
try it again and again and again?
yeah, that's kind of my own psychology, but I have gotten better. Um, and actually, it was when I went to London. I went to London for grad school, and that's when it was like officially over because I was leaving New York and
Mm.
he couldn't come with me. And he actually said that I couldn't go to London because
Oh
he
my
can't go
god,
to.
like they can be so controlling, and I hate
Yes.
that.
Um, Possessive and controlling.
Yeah.
So, and even just crossing the street. So the differences between like what an American woman is used to in America, there's always this like their arms are always near you. Like you can't be in public without them. Like
Protective.
yes, I
Protective.
call it possessive. Um,
We call it in Middle East protective.
I think that's a
I don't like that personally,
uh,
but like I knew my friends would like that.
it's a euphemism to say that it's protective. I do think it's possessive.
Okay.
Maybe it's both.
Maybe.
Hopefully, it's
It
both.
depends. It depends like how protective they are.
Sure, sure. So then the next Turkish boyfriend I had was the last serious relationship I had, which was like 3 years ago.
Okay. How long it
Uh,
takes?
that one took a year too. It took less time to
You
about
like Turkish
maybe
guys?
not anymore. Maybe a little bit less than a year. This one.
Okay. So how was that experience?
6 months at least, but there was so much distance.
Hmm.
Again, not good. Um, so with like this area, because it's not just Turks, it's also Kurds and Arabs are like this. I'm sure you can speak for your people. On like the first or second date, they're talking marriage. And I've never wanted to get married, and I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. So like I tell them like no. I and so I've learned now that I have to like really be assertive like from the moment I meet a guy. I don't want to marry anybody. I will
And you cannot
never
have my green card.
I will never marry you. Yeah, so leave me alone. And by the way, what's your name?
By the way, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to watch the show 90 Day Fiance. Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay. So 90 Day Fiance is this show where a US citizen is engaged to a foreigner.
I should watch that.
This you should, because I watched it and then it happened to me. I wasn't engaged, but I came here to meet the Turkish guy's family. So
It
you
was
should
so
watch it
close.
so you can get an American husband. Yeah.
Oh my
But
god.
it was very much that kind of experience. For example, I stayed with his sister, and they were always like kind of sizing me up, like, but they couldn't because I'm foreign. They know I wasn't going to put up with like, or even participate in they have a coffee ceremony. Like, so when the guy becomes engaged to the girl, she
Mm-hmm.
makes coffee,
Yeah. I know. I
and
know.
they could put like salt in
Salt.
the coffee, and then if he drinks it, then he's saying, I want to marry her. Okay. I obviously, they never even like set that up for me to do it because I'm not gonna do that. Um, and it was worse than that. They told me that since I'm foreign, I don't have to make them breakfast every morning. If I was a Turkish girl, I would definitely be cooking for them. And not only that, they
What are
are,
you, a maid?
yeah, so you have to like show the man's family that you're ready to be a wife. And that's by,
Oh my god.
yeah. So not only do they have to cook for the family-in-law,
Oh my
the
god.
family will criticize her cooking.
It's
Um,
like Turkish series. Did
it's,
you watch
yeah,
it?
it's this huge
This
initiation
is a
process
yeah, it is.
into a family that you now don't really want to belong
Yeah,
to because they're
exactly.
kind of rude to you. Um, yeah, and so they said that I didn't have to do that because
So why
I'm,
did you guys break up?
largely because of that. But
I don't want to cook for you.
no, the guy was also like a narcissist.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no,
This
it's not safe. He
this
was,
character is
yeah,
so much here in Middle East.
very much so. So like this has only recently become like a topic of discussion in the US, but like this
Mm.
is woven into the
It's wild
personalities
here.
of
Like I
Turkish
can say
men, Arab men,
mm,
your men.
Iranian.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's start with your dating in this 1 month.
My personal experiences then, yeah,
Yeah.
to not generalize. So I had those two Turkish experiences. Both
So
were,
you had some background.
yes. The first one's family was so against him marrying,
A foreigner.
and not just a foreigner, but like a American floozy. Like they think we're just immoral women who
Hmm.
have too many boyfriends and stuff like that.
Oh my
I'm putting it very
god.
lightly. They use words that I would never call a woman. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. But the last one, I think they were more open to it. Um, they were, I think the family was pretty conservative, but he wasn't, and they knew that about him. So, whatever. Okay. And then I've never had a Kurdish boyfriend. I have talked to a Kurdish guy. When we were talking, I found out that he had been talking to my friend before he was talking to me. And so I
Oh my
just,
god, it happens to me and my friends too. In this building,
interesting.
yeah,
Interest.
you cannot believe it. The same.
Yeah, so this seems to be a recurring
Yeah.
pattern. And but when I asked
They're just
about it,
looking for girls, you know?
yes,
They don't ask you. They don't have any type or
and
something.
worse than that, my friend found out that he had been trying to talk to her sister at the same
Oh my
time that he was talking to
god.
her.
Have some
Yeah, or
manner,
trying to talk to
guys.
her. And then when I asked, "Oh, did you used to talk to my friend?" He was like, "I don't even know who your friend is."
Hmm.
But like,
Because I'm talking to 100
yeah,
women every day, so I do not
yes,
remember.
yes,
Oh my god.
that's what. Yeah, the
Eh.
conclusion has been drawn that it is a spray and pray. Like they're just throwing and hoping something sticks. Um, yeah, have dated, talked to Arabs.
Hmm.
Also very impossible, just impossible. I mean,
Which country it was?
this last one was Syrian that I
Oh
met
my
in
god.
Antep, and I found out that he was married. So this is
Wow.
another common
Tell
theme.
the story. Tell the story. I've heard that before. It's interesting.
Yeah, just what you need to know about men from here, not so much secular Turks, but the rest of, especially the more conservative they are. So if they come from a conservative city or town or part of the country,
Yeah.
so if they're not from Tehran, if they're not from Istanbul, if they're not from Damascus, you have to be married by the time you're like 25. So if he's
I
over,
agree. I agree.
so if he's over 25, he's married.
Kind
That's
of.
just have that be the rule of thumb.
Just keep that in your mind that if you met like someone like a Turkish guy or like Syrian something guys,
Any Arab
if like they're
guy.
30 something, have that in the mind that they might be married or divorced at least.
But divorce is also very uncommon because that's the excuse that this guy
They
gave
will
me.
have their wife at home and they're just looking for like,
And they do keep the wives at home. So this makes it easier for them to philander because the women really are hidden a lot. So Arab women don't leave the house very much if they're
it
married
depends, like
for,
it changed. I can say it
of
changed
course.
these days, but at the same time, uh, I don't want to say open relationship, but somehow I heard like even Turkish women have this attitude to have like lover.
Interesting.
I heard that.
I believe that. I don't know any Turkish women that do that.
I know.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right. Well, must be
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Yeah. So there's this. I learned this in New York actually before I ever dated anybody from this part of the world. An Arab girl had told me that because of how possessive they are of their women, she was kind of venting about, and this is a cultural difference between like we're not under lock and key, we're not being monitored to the extent that like an Arab girl is,
Hmm.
or maybe your girls are. So, something that the men do, since the girls can't be going out with Arab boys, is the Arabs will date Latinas. And they
Hmm.
will pretend like they're serious with one of us. And because we look like they're women, like we're
Ah,
brunette, brown,
Renat, yeah.
tan, not that there's not like really white Arabs, but basically they're like just we're like a space filler. They're using us for the time until they're gonna marry
One of
whoever their
from their
family decides.
country.
Yeah,
I agree
or
100%.
like a
Especially in
family
Turkey,
member.
they are just, yeah, kind of somehow they're looking for foreigners just for hookups,
Yes.
and at the end, even if they were in a relationship, even the long one, I cannot say they will marry her. Like it's like the family has a very huge rule,
Yeah.
like for picking a wife or something. So it's so risky and not recommended, to be
And not
honest.
worth the
Not worth.
risk.
No.
Yeah. So um every guy that I've talked, again, it's not very many. It was like that one Kurdish guy, a couple Arabs, and then
Ah, you didn't tell the story in
the
details of
Turks.
the Syrian one, married one.
Okay, yeah. So we had been in contact, like we'd followed each other on Instagram for years. He was a
For
photojournalist
years?
for years.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, you kind of
Mm.
get to know a person
And
through their stories.
there wasn't any picture of the wife or something?
That's what I mean by the women being completely hidden.
No, it's the guy being playful. At least if you're married, you should put a like
You should, but
a
it's
picture in your profile.
yes, but it's even if there's a picture,
Because we also have it in Iran, because like guys think that you're so smart. They don't do
yeah,
that.
yep. But it's not uncommon for the woman's face to not be in the picture. The wedding picture, it'll
Oh,
just be their hands with the
I,
rings.
I I agree. I saw
It
that.
won't have, yeah, that's
Yeah.
very, very common. I would say it's more uncommon to have her face showing and to have
Yes.
her name there.
Yeah.
So I like according to his Instagram, there's no visible
Oh my
wife.
god. I
I
cannot
knew that he
imagine.
had children, so I knew that he was married, but
Okay.
he told me he was divorced. Again,
Mm.
that's very uncommon. He would have been the first Arab that I've ever met who was divorced.
Mm.
Very, very uncommon, but I don't know. They've been through a lot. So, I mean, Syrian people. So maybe like I know a lot of things have changed, and for women as well. Um, I did a whole project with women and healthcare accessibility, and yes, they are leaving the house. They do have communication with the outside world, whatever. And younger girls do have like Instagram pages with
Yes, of course.
showing
The young
all of where they
generation
are,
just
what they're
changed.
doing.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it was possible. And then I found out that he admitted that he is still married. And I had my friend look through his Facebook page, and there's no mention of her. There's no.
Be careful.
So right, that makes it very easy for them to lie, to pretend that she doesn't exist, because as far as like a digital footprint, she doesn't exist. So I can't find her to tell her. I could go to where they live, but
No, don't be.
not worth it.
Not worth it.
Yeah, and that's that's not the first time I've had that kind of experience. Maybe should I keep going?
Yeah, I did.
The first time this happened to me was with a guy from Morocco, and this was in California, and we dated for over a year, and then I found out that he was married the whole time. My mom actually found out.
Wow. Oh my
And
God.
I confronted him, and he said that ultimately,
Oh my God, girl, you've been through
my
a
my
lot.
advice is if they say that they're not married or not married anymore, ask for the divorce papers, because that's why the guy finally admitted this one, the
Divorce
recent
paper.
one. He's
Write it down.
he said he will not share his private information, and then he admitted it's because he's actually still married. So this first one from Morocco, he wasn't Arab, he was Berber. He said that he was only married for citizenship, like to get a green card for the US, and that he was divorced or that she died. So I said, it's okay now because she's dead. So I asked for the proof, I asked for those papers, and no, I think he had a wife back in
She was
Morocco this
alive.
whole time, and I'll never find her. And this was before Instagram, but even now,
So
like,
for my information, I wanted to ask you if you get married for the green card, how many years you should stay married? It's for my personal information.
according to the show 90 Day Fiance, no, you have to, in general, you have to be married to the person for 3 years to
Okay.
apply, or to, I think you have to be married for 3 years to get it.
Okay, so it
5 years
should
is
like after 3 years you can apply.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's a long time. And then I
You
need to
have to
get
be
married now.
uh-huh.
So after 3 years, you get your green card, passport, and everything.
No, that's for your green card, and then
It's just for green
then
card.
you apply for citizenship. So first you apply for residency, then you can apply for citizenship.
Okay, so
Mhm.
how many? If you get
With
divorced after like 1 year, it's okay.
divorce doesn't
Okay.
matter. Once you're a citizen, you're a citizen. Or once you have a green card, you have a green card.
Girl, I need that.
Okay, she's willing to get divorced. Yeah. In Turkey, Turks are not as persistent. Like, they'll talk to you, but if you want them to leave you alone, I think they will.
They're so dramatic.
They're dramatic about it, but then
Oh.
ultimately they will leave you alone, case by case. But the cultural norm, like, they know that if they bother me,
They can be so clingy.
they're clingy, but they know that they can't cross the line, that somebody else will tell them something. Like, if I'm like, oh my God, this guy's bothering me, whatever. Whereas in southeastern Turkey, they were very, like, just they like won't take no for it. They'll follow you.
Don't take no as an answer.
This guy was like waiting outside my hotel. Yeah.
My God.
If they have your phone number, they will like blow up your phone. They'll just keep messaging you or calling you.
Wow.
Who calls people anymore? We've never even like had coffee, and you're just like trying to video call.
At least if they call you, it means that they can speak English.
No, they didn't. They spoke Turkish.
Oh my God.
Okay, I think it's a blessing.
Let's dive into the language barrier, because I experienced that. Like, ooh.
Yeah, I think you've done it right. that they should have to speak English. And
Yeah,
my when it ended with the last Turkish guy who only spoke Turkish, my American friend whose wedding I just went to, she told me, Susie, you can't be with someone who doesn't speak English.
exactly.
And I had romanticized it because my parents,
Aww,
that like, oh no, love knows no boundaries. It does.
it
It absolutely,
does.
it absolutely does.
It does. And even
Um,
love is not enough, Yani.
Correct. And then even with the like socioeconomic like realities of this world, as an American or someone who's really educated and speaks English, you need someone on that level, especially if they're coming from a different country, because I think they will already have the insecurities of like, oh, the American girl or for you, the doctor or
Mm,
whatever. So if they don't even speak English,
yeah. For me personally, it's a big no. I don't even continue talking. Like, one of the reasons that I'm happy that I cannot speak Turkish that much, because like I will
it's a
end the
blessing in disguise.
conversation. I just will end the conversation from the beginning. I'm like, Türkçe biraz biliyorum. Like,
Yeah.
bye.
She says, I only know a little bit of Turkish. Yeah.
And I'm happy about that because I don't want to waste my time, Annie. There's
Correct.
no point. Because like for getting into a relationship or just marriage, like communication comes first.
And
And
even
if
if,
you cannot communicate with the language, how can, like, it's a pantomime or like
yeah,
what?
yeah, don't bother. And then you don't understand the extent to which they're being bad to you.
Yeah.
Um, Even if they speak English, the chances of it being good are slim. So yeah, at least that. So don't bother with the foreign boys, is what we're saying. There's, I mean, a reputation, um, or stereotype that they've made about, in part because there are some women who do this who come from like Europe and do just want to hook up with some
Mm.
foreign guy, some Turkish whatever guy at the restaurant, or I don't know. um, like I do know that that happens, but
Yeah, a
they
lot.
yeah, really, really, oh my gosh, I feel like Americans are less
Mm.
like that,
Mm.
than Europeans, but whatever. The reality is that they think that we're like to hook up with,
Yeah.
whether it's because they think we will do that or because that's
They're easy
their
to
goal and
approach.
they'll feel good about themselves if they get us to hook up with them
Yeah,
or
they also
whatever.
have this perception of my people, Iranian girls, like you're so friendly, na na
Oh,
na,
yeah, and they
easy to
are.
get, easy to reach, easy
They're
to
really
hook up
friendly,
with.
but
Yeah,
right.
sad but true.
And Americans are really nice. Yeah, like your friend said last night, we have more in common than you and like Europeans. So enjoy the culture, the food. Don't mess with the boys.
Don't.
So while it has benefited me a lot to have learned from talking to
Tell the
people,
story that the guy in
oh,
the
not
first
another
date
one.
told you I love you.
Which one?
I don't know. Which
The
one do you want to
the
mention?
married one?
That one said
Yeah,
that I love
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh.
They all do. I mean, it's the my last Turkish boyfriend. It wasn't on the first date, but it was in the first week.
Oh
He
my
told
god, how
me,
can you love someone in the
and
first
that's what
week?
I said. I said that's way too fast.
I
Like,
cannot even be sure after 1 year.
right. So then this married guy, when he told me he loved me, I was like, you, like we literally just met. You,
What
there's
is my
no
last
way.
name?
He might know from Instagram. He doesn't know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
there, and I think part of that is the culture,
Mm. So
because
what is the difference between Turkish man and like a typical American?
oh my gosh, it's huge.
Okay.
Americans,
Tell me, give me the details.
oof, there's different sides of this,
Because
because
like before we talked about like how they do not respect women on that
mhm.
like subconscious level. I
Yeah,
want to talk about that
yeah,
more.
and that's not to make an excuse for the way that I've been treated, the way that they treat even their own women. But it is like they're raised to think that they're entitled to this and that. American men are too. It just translates differently. That's a really good question because there are guys who treat us bad in our own culture. There are guys who do just want to hook up in our own culture. There are guys that take advantage of us or use us in our own culture.
Mm.
But
But
it's not the
mm,
norm.
okay.
Whereas here,
Mm.
it's the norm. And to the point where,
And if they want to just like hook up or something,
mhm,
are they being honest at first, or they're just acting nice or something to get what they want and then just change? How is that?
that's a good question too. I think they're lying from the beginning, but there is also like a pride component to
Mm.
men here that they won't ever admit that they were lying. So they will say, "No, I did love you," or "No, I did treat you well," or "No, I still do want you,"
Yeah.
even though, like, well, if that was true, you wouldn't have treated me badly this whole
Mm.
time, or you wouldn't have been married this
Of course, of course.
time. So, right. In general, American men will get to know you before they would ever even think about saying, "I love you." And they are more
What are the big difference that you saw in the first date that you had like with a Turkish guy or an
yeah,
Arabic
yeah,
guy
yeah, yeah.
with the first date that you had with like an
Yep.
American guy before?
Yep,
What are
absolutely.
the
That's a
difference?
huge difference. So the guys from here, it's love bombing. Even if they don't say I love you, there's this like infatuation that they try to,
Mm.
whether they really have it or not, they act just like so into you, like you're amazing, you're a princess, which I
Yeah,
don't want to be.
they gave you a lots of compliment, and like for me personally,
Yes.
I knew girls like that, but for me personally, it just gave me the fake vibe,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, enough, Annie.
I don't know why anybody
How
would
many
like
times you want
that.
to mention that? Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're my princess. You're like these words. It's like what?
I think there's like in economics something called game theory, and it like with Nigerian princes who send the
Mm-hmm.
emails, and there's all these spelling mistakes, and it's not really even in English, and the women who fall for it, it's because they'll fall for anything.
Ah,
So these guys, when they're like, "You're a beautiful princess, and I'm gonna marry you," on the first not even date, but 10 minutes, literally, the last guy
10 minutes?
that tried to talk to me
So fast.
asked if I would marry him. He was like 25,
Hmm.
Kurdish guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like,
Practically looking for green
I said,
cards.
"You're a child," and yeah. Um, where were we going with? Oh, so they're feeding on your insecurities. So if you do have
Hmm.
those insecurities, you might fall
You
for
will
that.
fall for that,
And
yeah.
then if you do fall for that because you have insecurities, they know that they'll be able to like
Hmm.
manipulate you from here on out, right? So I think that's why they go so hard from the beginning.
Hmm.
Part of it is because they feel entitled and they have the courage to be like, "You're so beautiful," and maybe they are attracted to you. I don't think they do that to a girl that they don't think is attractive at all. But yeah, it's intense. Whereas with American guys,
How is that?
the first date is to like you'll have coffee and conversation and to see if you're compatible. And I've never used a dating app, so this is outside of the dating app.
I did use here.
How
In
is that?
Iran, before I never did that because like I've been in a lot of community, so I could be able to
Yeah.
meet people in person. But here, because like I was a foreigner and I didn't have like a lots of chances to meet like people, Turkish people, or even foreigners,
Mm-hmm.
Arabic people from different countries who could be able to speak English because I cannot speak Turkish. So I needed to like use these dating apps, and to be honest, it wasn't successful so far.
Mm-hmm.
I had like so funny stories.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up a good point. So I've never used a dating app, but what's happened recently is with Instagram, I'll put a story, and my Instagram's public. So I'll be in a city or a restaurant or whatever, and then it's only a matter of time before someone
Mm,
messages me. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing in town?" And they know I'm foreign here because my name, my
yeah.
account, everything is in English. Um, And that's where you could get like tricked, I think. Like mine were all messages in Turkish, but you talked to a guy in English, but he was just translator app.
You cannot believe, like, he was like, I knew someone, like, he just texted me from the beginning, not even saying hello in Turkish, all English. And when we met, I saw he cannot even make one sentence, like not even one correct sentence. He couldn't even count the numbers. Like, how dare you? How dare you to talk to me in the, like, he didn't even ask me, like, can you speak Turkish? I cannot. Okay, so
Right. Yeah, that should have been a conversation starter, not
yeah.
a surprise. Yeah.
So do the video call before, or
Agreed.
at least the
A
call.
voice call. There are people that are worth getting to know. There are people that are
Yeah,
worth talking to, which is
yeah,
why
I
I
agree.
would ever accept or respond to any message whatsoever. But then once there's the "can I come to your hotel room" or any vibe like that,
Mm.
skirt, like,
You
and then
know,
it's
for
cut off.
us, like, there is a difference because I live here. I am looking for a
Uh
relationship,
huh.
but for you, you might want something not that serious, you
Correct.
mean?
Correct.
Yeah, so either way,
Yeah, I'm willing to have coffee with someone. I'm willing to eat kanefa with someone. Willing to. I definitely want to ask
share
people.
cultures. It's
Yes, I want to
nice.
ask about what their life is like, what the differences are between where I'm coming from and where they're coming from, how they grew up, how I grew up, etc.
Mm,
So definitely always worth like talking to people, but to be able to filter who to talk to and who not to talk to.
exactly.
And when you do go to somewhere with someone to a well populated area, yeah, to not be in like a risky situation if
Mm.
you don't know them, since you're not even able to speak the language of the
Oh
place.
my God.
Yep.
What else?
I think that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much it. Do you think that there's more?
If you have like a funny story you want to share.
Funny, sad, funny, depressing.
I know, in deep level it's all sad, but like,
Yeah, I think another thing, the difference between guys here and guys there, or our guys, is our guys make more of an effort. Like they'll come
mm,
pick you up, or they'll plan the place, or more common.
respect.
Yeah,
Totally respect. That we were
yeah.
talking yesterday about like how they, like how in Middle East, like, which one?
Last night.
Funny last
Yeah,
night? You want to mention that?
yeah. But finish what you're saying.
In Middle East, I have this perception like guys do not respect women that much, even if they act like they do. In deep
It's
down,
just a friend, or they do think that they do, but not the way that we know that we should be respected.
you never dated an
Unfortunately,
Iranian guy, do you?
nope. And I don't think
I'm happy to do
I don't think
that.
I want to.
Okay, you
Yeah,
you can share this story last night.
yeah. Okay, just to finish the difference though, the guys here are quite demanding and they expect you to like come to them. They expect you to, especially as like someone with resources, like they think, oh, she's rich, she can just drop what she's doing and get pay for her way and pay for the whatever. In this culture though, the
So
man
I wanted to
pays.
ask you that in US, you in the first dates you split or
I don't think so. That's happened to me maybe once.
so they, because I like my friends that are living there, they saying like we just pay separately.
That Yeah, that is a white people thing, but on a date with a guy, I think the norm still is that the guy would pay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I know that that's getting tricky and that's kind of changing, but
Okay. Good to
and
know.
some women like want to pay like
Mm.
these,
I know. I just want know the
or even
whole,
for the
yeah,
guy.
the whole vibe. Like, how is it?
Yeah, the vibe is more balanced here. The guy, it's like a honor thing, like that they're buying everything, they're paying for
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
even for the taxi for me to go home. The last Turkish guy I talked to, he paid for my taxi, and or they'll come with you to drop you off or
Yeah,
whatever.
I like
I
that.
like that too.
To be honest, I like
I
that.
love that. Okay. Whereas, yeah, so American guys, they're courteous and they will drop you off or whatever, but they'll take the time to get to know you and they're more open to splitting things. Whereas here, they're very demanding, but
Mm.
it is a point of honor with these like purchases. Okay. Last night, we had a nice evening, listen to some live guitar, guy playing guitar and
It
singing
was like a gathering with my people.
traditional Iranian songs and like newer Iranian music. And this guy after was like, "What are you doing here?"
It was one of my friends.
Yeah.
I'm so
Is he
sorry.
from Tehran?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So this guy from Iran was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm just on vacation." And he said, "How is your financial situation?"
Like even
Which is
in the first talk.
first like sentence, second sentence.
Oh my god.
And he said, "What do you do for a living?" So all of these are questions that we don't really like. You would never ask
Some
someone
very
about
personal
their financial
questions.
situation, especially yeah, to a stranger, to a woman, to it was all very backwards. Um, and and then he asked, what I like to do, and then he said, "Why do you like that? Why do you care about culture? Why that's
Mm.
stupid. You should only care about
Oh
money.
my god, I'm so
As a
sorry.
man, I need to take care of a family, so I need money." And I was like, "All right, I'm sorry that all you care about is this fake thing." And then I was like,
You know,
just
it's okay if your first value is like just earning money, but you do not have the right to undervalue other people that it's not their priority. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. We respect, we need respect as well.
we have a live and let live mentality in general here. Okay, so even beyond guys, the first or every time I've stayed in Turkey, first it was Turks, then it was Syrians. They were always
Hmm.
like, "Why aren't you married?
Oh my
You
God.
need to get married." My partner in the project I was working on was like, "You need to go home, back to America, and your priority needs to be finding a husband because you're about to hit menopause." And I was like 30, 32, I don't know. And yeah, so that's kind of the mentality. The rest of this conversation last night with this Iranian guy, not only was he telling me how unimpressive I was because I'm not chasing dollars, he said that I think this was the real reason he doesn't approve of me is that I came here alone. He was like,
Hmm.
"Where's your husband?" So he said, "You're not married? Why?" And I said, I've just never wanted to get married." And he let me know that that's not okay.
Yeah, we have that in our country. It's getting better, but at the same time, even like imagine he was 30 and like from a 30 years old guy, you need some be like open-minded, more open-minded and respect like
It's not
this
going to
kind of
open.
ideas. If like a woman
Yeah.
doesn't want to get married, just like why you're saying like this? What is your problem?
Yeah, so it's not acceptable to not get married and not have kids here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in America, that's totally okay.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't get married. They might have kids and stay with their partner and not get married.
Hmm.
Yeah. And in Mexico, it feels like nobody's getting married anymore. It's
Hmm.
really common there. Yeah. So just those are things that I've uncovered with boys and dating and ideas around family and stuff that you're supposed to have. And that doesn't come across well when you're someone like, or a female traveler solo, you're probably single too.
Okay, thank you, Susie, for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah, I got that off my chest. Thanks.
Yeah, you feel better
I,
now?
I feel good.
As like your last day staying in
Yeah.
Istanbul and
Yeah.
Turkey, is there anything else that you want to share?
Whew. No. Istanbul's been pretty exhausting. The country in general, with all the changes, I'm kind of glad that a
Hmm.
month and a half was plenty. If you want to come, I think 2 weeks is enough, and you
Where's the
can.
next destination?
My next destination is Cyprus. I've never been to
Amazing.
Cyprus. I'm so excited. So I'll make a
You
Cyprus
will, you will make,
update.
promise that you will make a video.
Pinky promise.
Yeah. Guys, probably I will not be in the Cyprus video, so because like, uh, oh,
Maybe
maybe
I
online
can
we could
call
do
you.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
If
We'll
if you
see.
like me to be in the video, first of all follow me
You
and
want
then
Golsa?
like
Yeah.
put gosa gosa.
Yeah. Golsa. Golsa. Golsa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So till next time,
Till next time.
don't be afraid to adventure,
Yeah, yeah.
but be
Just
careful with the
just
boys.
just start. Just pursue what you want. And like, do you want to share any
Oh, there's
tips
more.
on getting start on what you love? Because I knew that from what we talked like yesterday.
Mhm.
So you wanted to have like these travel blogs for a long time.
Oh, I wouldn't say that I wanted to. People have told me that I should share like places I'm going to beyond just like in conversation with
Hmm.
in person after I get home or an Instagram story. So, yeah, I think I've benefited from other people's travel blogs and at the same time realized, oh, I think I travel better than that person.
Hmm.
So, and everybody's different. So, I'm a baller on a budget. In less than $1,000, I can do anything in the world in a month. Um, Maybe you've got some pointers for like the more ritzy stuff. You appreciate resorts. I'm more
It
of
depends
a
on the destination.
I'm more from the streets. I like to
No, I
talk to
like to
people.
like,
I can't
no,
just sit in all
me too, me
inclusive
too. It depends on my
as my
mood.
only experience in a country. Yeah. So, yeah, share whatever you've got. Put it out
And if you
there,
had any question from Susie from all
please.
the travels that she had, do you want to mention other places that you've been before? Maybe they have like any question of traveling before
Yeah,
that.
I've been to like 30 different
Oh my
countries.
God, I didn't
So,
know.
yeah, I can put the list and then if there's
Yeah, you should just continue recording these videos like from your other experiences.
sure.
Of course, it will be
Yeah, everywhere I
interesting.
go from now on,
It
I'll
will be
happily share.
helpful, interesting.
Yeah, so you can see a way of going somewhere and getting the most out of like the people who are from their side of it to get
Hmm.
like immersed. That's what I like is the cultural immersion.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
thanks.
Wish you all the best, baby.
Thank you. You too. Love
Love
you
you so
more.
much. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
take it easy, guys.
Take it easy and like take care of yourself, and
Please.
hopefully we will or
Yes.
Susie will see you in the next
Yes.
videos. So till then, bye bye from Turkey. Do you want to say goodbye in Turkey?
Should I?
Yes, you do.
Görüşürüz. See you
Görüşürüz.
later.
Bye
Kendine
bye.
iyi bak.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.